I'm going to work with some cliches because I don't want to give the impression that it's necessary for you to believe me. In fact, you can't or you shouldn't. If it's a possibility and I cannot verify that the Litch exists in the cycle of incarnation, the Litch, where you can't die, but you actually transcend as you realize that everybody who died, as an example, showing you how to live, died because they were not smart. And it's like, that's an egotistical thing to say and everything, right? But you don't get free from this level until you demonstrate a better way, right? And so and it is possible that you die on some dimension, but it just goes into clarifying what is what's it say? A magnificent animal or species is supposed to be. So it's like on some dimension that you can break off of, then the human race can be judged as a single entity, as a single what's that called? As an individual being, as a single individual creation in its magnificence, right? In its magnificence. Except for the fact that there are millions of copies of simulacrum, and you get rolled into the next experience, right? Of dying to erroneous ways, dying to sin, which would be dying to folly and ways of that are conscious of death or cognizant of death. Because when you get to higher level, you don't have any comprehension, and it loses all its power, basically. So it's like, okay, so if the first time that Christ came to save humanity, he made a mistake. He came with the dove of peace, right? And the next time he'll come with flames, right? And he'll do it the right way. But you're gonna do all that shit. He'll etch his name in your heart because you're gonna do all that shit, right? If you know what I'm saying, if you're the Lich. And then it's very powerful being that also suffers, right? It's a being that suffers, and it becomes more and more powerful, but as it transcends its it's becoming. So like if a behavior is not becoming, the human nature is to say that it's not even happening, like it's not so. This isn't what you're seeing. That's not what you're seeing or hearing. You're mistaken. Like this. And if you can't produce an argument, then rationalize, right? What's it? I don't want to. You just change the meaning of words and shit. Like, I don't want to argue. We've been trained to say that we don't want to argue, so that we are manipulating the definition of a word when you can appreciate arguments, because you can use those to solve problems with instead of rationalizing, which is what people really don't want to do when they yell at each other, right? I'm saying I'm not going to agree to disagree, and then they fight, right? We can't communicate any longer, and if I'm saying you leave me alone, then it's squashed. But if you're going to press, then, then it's on. So you can't say that once communication breaks down immediately, it's violence, because what if you have discipline and some refrain that's strategic, or, like where you can bide your time a little bit to make a good judgment call in spite of everybody encouraging, impulsive behavior, right away, when it's not necessary for you to portray all that. It's like it's like having something to prove, right? It's dangerous, and then you throw your life away, feed the demiurge. You feed the demiurge with, and then you know what I'm saying, you can't hold on to memory and everything. It's like you still have to complete the cycle, but you don't keep the memories in a way that can foster intuition and stuff like that. Now, you don't believe what I say or anything like that. I'm just pontificating, speculating. I'm trying to make headway by throwing out the most far-fetched conceived notions to get closer to what might actually be accurate or reality. Of course, some of the faces of reality are not culminated yet and won't culminate until sometime in the future, until some point in the future. God, do we already know all this shit? I just want to make a video that wasn't on some complaining about shit, because I already made those kind of videos, and if we were ever going to get off of it ever, we think now would be right about time, because we can always point out things that I've dealt with in the past and feel like, all right, Disney, should stop. But maybe I don't do anything but perpetuate it by bringing up. Maybe it goes to feed that host, demiurge host. You know what I mean? It's like I'm being pulled in by the light. It's like, oh, there's light in this direction, but it's like a purge. It's a purgatory light, right? It's a purge light. It'll just make you blind.